welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
I like turtles.
I'm AJ.
Your name's just letters. You suck, AJ.
Okay, so just off the bat here, I just got to get something off my chest.
Yes.
I've tried. Okay, I tried. It's a phenomenon. I tried to like it. I tried to get into it. I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix. I went through several episodes.
Yeah.
Could not get through it. Motherfucking Pokemon.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was the very first series.
Yeah.
I tried to start from the beginning. It is the most annoying show I've ever watched.
That's saying something, because Hey Arnold and some of these other ones are up there. Like,
Hey Arnold's not annoying. Well, yeah, okay. Okay, some of those old Nick shows are kind of annoying. But I'm talking like more than Rick and Morty, anything like, oh my gosh. I was screaming at my computer. Like, just move on from this.
Yeah, so many filler episodes.
Yeah.
I know they have with like Naruto and some of these other anime shows that have like so many episodes. They legit have a watch this episode, watch it, like kind of a guide.
Yeah.
So you don't have to watch any of the filler shit.
All right. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should look up like the best episodes, like
right, kind of. But how many did you watch?
Like all the way through, I watched maybe 6.
Okay.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
But then I started like scrubbing through them all.
Right.
Yeah. When I actually got to like Pokemon stuff, like battles or whatever, then I would watch that. But all this other shit about what's her face, like constantly complaining to Ash about her bike, and she wants her bike. Yeah, Missy. Oh, she wants her bike, and when's she gonna pay her back for a bike and a bike and a bike? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I remember loving that show as a kid. It was like a huge part of like pop culture back in the day for us.
Yeah, it still is. It still is a huge part of pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm playing Pokemon Go. I'm drawing Pokemon, which, by the way, very easy to draw.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those Eevees look sick.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I was impressed.
But yeah, and so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it because it's a big gaping hole in my geekdom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's watch it. Like,
next you're gonna attempt Doctor Who, right?
I can. I really don't know if I can. Although I've seen clips of Doctor Who, and some actually look really good. Yeah. Like there's that clip with Vincent Van Gogh or Van Gogh, depending how you say it. And that looked really good. That really hit a chord with me, but it seems like you gotta dig through a bunch of like giant pile of shit before you get to like gold. You know,
such is life.
Such is life. Yeah, very true. Very true. But let's see if that's the case with our. How does it taste?
How does that taste? How does that taste? How does it taste?
So this.
I'm actually considering changing the segment to "How does it taste?" Comma AJ question mark. Can Troy taste it? Question mark.
Yeah, can Troy taste this? I've actually been okay with sodas, so I think I'll be all right.
All right.
Like I haven't found a soda where I haven't been able to taste it. But that being said, this soda has been all over the internet lately.
It has.
All over social media, TikTok. This Mountain Dew Flaming Hot. So I guess it's like the same things like the Flaming Hot Cheetos, except Mountain Dew form.
If it's got any type of cinnamon, I don't know how I feel about it. Especially mixed with like a sweeter Mountain Dew flavor.
Yeah. Well, it does contain 0% juice.
You did catch my pun that I sent you via text earlier, right? And you said that you need to wait until 11:30.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that was really good.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
Can do.
So I picked up Mountain Dew, the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew, but then when I was looking around at some of the other sodas, which is why I was like a couple minutes late, I found this Dr. Pepper limited edition dark berry.
Oh, how the turns have tabled, Troy. You were late.
I know, right?
I'm always late.
But this is, I guess, a promotional item for Jurassic World.
Which, speaking of Jurassic World, I've got a bone to pick with them because they recently posted a picture.
A 65 million year old fossilized bone to pick with them.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
They'd put on this. The hell is it called? Even it was like a teaser all over social media, and they had the OG cast down below, and then they had like the new cast up above, and like finishing off this whole like saga,
Right.
you know, this epic journey. And I was just like, quit invoking nostalgia like that. It kind of pissed me off. Like they did a fine job with the first one, and I loved how they threw in a couple of Easter eggs and they tied them together. And I really felt like they did a decent job with it. But then the next one was just complete trash.
That was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
And now they're like, hey, remember these original guys? Like, yeah, we're tying it all together. They're trying to invoke that nostalgia all over again.
I think so.
And it kind of pisses me off.
But at the same time, I get it.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's the end of the Jurassic movies, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
And so...
Hopefully. No, unless Jurassic World gets tied together with Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Aren't they both Universal products?
They are.
Yeah.
But... Yeah,
too fast, too ferocious.
I'm trying to think of puns. Too T, too Rex, too...
Vin D versus T-Rex. I don't know.
Vin D versus Rex T? I don't know. But they're just trying to, like... I'm sure they felt like they had to bring him in. It's the last movie.
Right.
Let's get the original cast back.
Yeah.
Like,
it worked so well with Ghostbusters.
I get it.
Ghostbusters was able to do that perfectly.
They did. But with Ghostbusters, they were at the very, very, very end of the movie.
Right.
They weren't peppered throughout.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'll still go see it.
Same.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this. Which one do you want to try first?
Flamin' Hot.
Flamin' Hot?
Yeah.
Okay. Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew.
I have higher expectations and higher hopes for Dr. Pepper.
Okay. No crazy smell off the bat. Just smells like Mountain Dew, really.
Yeah.
Kind of a berry Mountain Dew. Kind of switched it around a little bit to get the palate coated.
I'm not feeling any heat.
Yeah, where's the Flamin' Hot?
Yeah. I'm waiting for it.
There's no flames, there's no hot.
Is there a little bit of a heat aftertaste?
I got a bit of a tingle on the back of my tongue.
I can't tell if that's the carbonation or if that's actually heat.
All right.
It's not bad. No, that's got to be the heat. That tingle afterwards, yeah. That's past carbonation tingle.
It's like
yeah.
Chug it.
Really?
Chug it. Anything?
Okay, there's some more.
There
heat.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that's what you got to do. You got to take a lot in your mouth. That's what she said, to really get the full flavor of it. If you sip it, it's not a sipping soda.
No.
It's a gulping soda.
Yes. And it kind of does have they put the little lime on there, right? Like a lot of, they even have Flamin' Hot Cheetos with lime, so it makes sense. The soda's it's really reminiscent of those Skittles that were the Flamin' Hot Skittles and the other Starburst that they had, the other candies.
No, I don't eat Skittles.
I only tried them because they were Flamin' Hot. I think we tried them on the podcast.
We probably did.
And they tasted really sweet, and then they just had some heat to it, but there was no flavor to the heat.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. Yep.
There's definitely some heat to this, though. That's pretty tasty.
There is. The flavor itself is actually pretty good. It's kind of a citrus, kind of a berry type of a flavor. And you still get that Mountain Dew like mouth feel. Know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah. Where it almost like coats your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then the very last thing, you get a little tongue tingle.
Mm-hmm.
Get the tongue tingles.
Oh, it's in the back of the throat too, dude. Yeah, for sure.
I like a good tongue tingle. All right, let's get to this Dr. Pepper Dark Berry. Curious about this one.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh.
Almost had that. It's like the Pepsi Nitro all over again.
Almost had another Nitro Pepsi incident.
Did you talk about that on the podcast that you attempted to open the other one?
That exploded my bathroom?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. So, if you remember, we tried a few episodes ago, and I bought a 4-pack.
Right.
So you and I had the 2, and I still had 2 left over. I'm like, I'm never going to drink these because fuck that drink, right?
Yeah. It was like flat as all,
and it made problems. Anyway,
right.
So I'm holding it. I'm holding it upside down, right into my bathroom sink. Right.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm good. Right.
Yeah.
Even if it explodes a little, it's still in the sink.
Whatever. You can wash it down.
I go to open it. As soon as it goes, pew, right out of my hand, like a fucking rocket, and just soda everywhere. I thought I got it all. I still found some on my counter I need to clean up.
Yeah. Dang.
I was like, motherfucker! I hate this stuff.
Back with
I was
vengeance.
so mad.
What'd you do with the last can?
The last can kind of cooperated.
Okay.
I had a vice grip on that one.
Yeah.
So I was able to easily dispose of that one. Jesus Christ. How are you supposed to drink that stuff? I still don't know. Anyway.
It smells a little bit like prune juice.
It doesn't smell great.
No.
I'll be honest. And I'm not a fan of Dr. Pepper
I don't
anyway.
Mind it. Yeah.
Really? It's never been my favorite.
I think it does have, as one of the 23 ingredients, it does have prune juice. So I'm thinking berry might enhance that.
It's always tastes a little medicinal to me. Okay.
Oh, the berry's there.
Yeah, the berry's there. I still get more Dr. Pepper, though, than berry.
This, to me, has more of a medicine taste to it, like an aftertaste.
Gulp it like I did the Mountain Dew.
Same, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, it's still mostly Dr. Pepper to me. I'm not getting much berry.
No.
Maybe a little. The aftertaste is a little berry.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty light on the berry.
Light on the berry.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, if you're gonna pick between the two, go for the Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot.
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually surprisingly that's pretty good.
It is. What are we doing out of 5 Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Yeah, I'm giving it honestly like a 4. Like it's
Same
a solid soda.
It really is. Yeah, I like the lime. It's like a lighter Mountain Dew because it's got extra citrus lime to it, and then the aftertaste, like the heat. It's pretty dang good.
Be a good mixer,
right?
Just saying. Not that I would know what cocktails taste like. I don't know. Moving on.
Out of 5 berries, dark berries,
like a 1. It's just Dr. Pepper to me with a hint of berry.
I think I'm at like maybe a 2.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're gonna go with the berry, go all in with the berry.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Don't hint at your berry.
Do something closer, similar to like what Pepsi and Coca-Cola have done with their berry flavors.
Or really any of their flavors.
Yeah.
Because when they have a flavor, like vanilla Coke is like vanilla.
Yes.
Or cherry Pepsi is like cherry.
Right. Because it can be done with like these darker sodas.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
All right. I was not expecting like this Mountain Dew. I'll be honest with you.
Neither was I. No, I was just like, that'd be interesting.
But I don't think I've come across a Mountain Dew flavor I have not liked.
Really?
Yeah. Because we've tried a lot.
We have. Yeah. We like that one episode.
I think we've tried most of them.
The YouTube one. Well, I mean, it's gamer fuel, dude. We have to.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It is kind of obligated for us to like it.
Yes. Or at least like try it.
It's in the contract.
It is. And we've tried to mix them to recreate that red, white, and blue, like the America one that they did.
Yeah.
Or we got the color correct, but just not the... I went back and rewatched that YouTube video not too long ago.
No, did you?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
We have a lot of good YouTube videos.
We really
made a lot
do,
of good ones back in the day.
Yeah.
Back when we did stuff. All right. Let's move on to today in Geek History.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
Today in Geek History.
So, initially I had done it and put it together for Sunday, and then that got postponed, and we were going to do it, like, record on Tuesday, and then Troy ghosted me.
I did. I did.
He's just like, oh, are you pretty free, like, later on this afternoon? I'm down here with the GF, and then, like, he's like, I'll message you.
Okay.
I'll message you when I get back, and then pass the fuck out.
Yeah, let me explain.
Yeah.
Just so people think I'm just like a jerk. Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, I was in Wendover with the GF.
Yeah.
Right?
How was that trip, by the way?
It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Wendover is like Vegas, but like stripped down from all the family shit.
Right.
Okay. It's like they took the strip, but took out all of like the shows
Glitz
and the entertainment
and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, look, you're here to gamble, you're here to drink, you're here to get high.
That's pretty much. We know.
Let's call a spade here. So, yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. I won 53 cents on a slot machine.
Really? Okay.
Having put in $3. But,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, that adds up. So
you don't say that part of the story.
Right.
Just the winnings.
Right. So we stayed there Sunday and Monday. We drove back Tuesday. Now, if you don't know, Wendover is only like an hour and a half away.
It's not that far.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not that far at all. But when I got back, it was one of those things where I thought I'm gonna lay down for a second. Just relax.
Yeah.
I crashed. I may have partied a little hard.
Yeah.
Those couple of days because we were celebrating my birthday, so there were a lot of things
party favors.
A lot of party favors.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean it was an accidental ghosting.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay.
It's all good. I wasn't waiting by the phone, not doing anything myself. Like, after I didn't hear back from you from like an hour or two, and I was just, I was like reading or gaming or doing something, and I was just like, he's probably crashed. Yeah. I figured as much. So I'm just like, I'm going to go out and make other plans.
Fair enough.
So, but I did want to, that was on April 26th. I did want to, there were some really good, on Sunday, there were a few decent ones, but on Tuesday, there were so many good ones that I kept the list.
Okay.
So this is Today in Geek History, but for April 26th.
So it's April 26th in Geek History.
Correct, yes.
Got it. Okay.
So, April 26th, 1564, William Shakespeare is baptized in England. Worcestershire, England.
Most people think that he was born same day I was.
Really?
April 23rd, yeah.
Okay.
I share a birthday with him. There's no,
official date?
Official date, but most people think it was the 23rd.
Yeah. In 1755... the first Russian university is opened in Moscow. In 1931, Lou Gehrig hits home run, but is called... this is kind of interesting. Okay, so he hits a home run, but is called out for passing the runner. This mistake cost him the home run crown. He and Babe Ruth tied for that season.
They were the Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa of their day.
Going back and forth, and then he hits his home run, the go-ahead home run, and runs past the other guy that's in front of him, just celebrating, all super happy and stuff, passes him,
right?
And on a technicality, or they're like, nope, sorry, you're
just
out.
like, bro.
Yeah, all you had to do is walk the bases, and you would have had that record.
Yeah.
But he tied with Babe Ruth because of that.
That sucks. What are the odds that Lou Gehrig got Lou Gehrig's disease?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, April 26th, 1962, Ranger 4 crash lands on the backside of the moon. We don't really talk too much about those like failed expeditions and missions. Well, besides the Challenger.
Yeah, and Apollo 13.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Armageddon.
Yep. Deep Impact. That was another one. Yep.
Apollo 18? Was that one movie? With the alien?
I think it was.
Yeah, okay. I'm not trying to think of the other one. Alien?
It was touted as, like, NASA's last mission to the moon, and this is why, because they were all attacked by aliens.
Yeah. It was kind of a Paranormal Activity meets Apollo 13?
Yeah, it didn't do well.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I really legit. I own that one. I'm like, this is kind of interesting.
I completely bypassed it.
So, let's see. 1973, U.S. performs nuclear test at Nevada test site. 1980, longest jump for a jet boat is set at 120 feet. Can you imagine that? That's a long time to be airborne in something that's not meant to be airborne.
I do not like jet boats.
Neither do I. You always, like, constantly, whenever you see them racing, like, the front is just flipping up in the air and flips over.
I was traumatized as a kid by a jet boat, yeah.
Having been in one, or what?
Having been in one.
Really? What happened?
Well, okay.
Set the scene.
All right. When I was a kid growing up, my mom's official, unofficial boyfriend.
Yeah.
She dated for like 30 years, but whatever. We would always travel. Like during the summer, we would go to all these places. And one of the things we did, we went to this lake. I don't know what lake it was, but we rented a jet boat.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably Bear Lake.
Could be, I don't know. We went all over the western United States. So I was like, okay, I guess. I was kind of pressured into doing this because, one, I was young.
Yeah.
And two, peer pressure from my family. I, to this day, cannot swim. And I have a deep-rooted fear of deep water.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
I didn't even know you couldn't swim. What the hell?
Yeah, I can't swim.
Yeah.
I can fake it, but only for about 5 seconds.
It's kind of like treading water.
Yeah.
So did those movies like 47 Meters Down and some of the other ones like frighten you at all?
No, because I know they're movies.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really affect me, but yeah. Fuck deep ocean water.
There's some big ass creatures in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we get on this jet boat and we start going, and I am freaking out because, like you said, we hit a wave. You go vertical for a sec before you come back down.
And this longtime boyfriend probably wasn't an expert at driving it. Right?
Oh, he wanted to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he hit the gas pedal, and we were. Ugh. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. I was terrified. And there was nothing in this jet boat to hang on to.
No, that shit is slick. It's smooth.
There's
and
nothing.
When you put water on it, like, you're...
There's like this little hook that was made for like maybe hanging like your glasses or something on or whatever.
It's probably is it kind of go up into a T?
It was on like the back of the seat.
Oh, okay.
So it was literally like a hook to like hang an article.
A lot of the times they'll do that to tie the boat to this or something.
So I have like a finger on this thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I'm holding on to. I am petrified.
Ugh. That would not be good.
I just unlocked a memory for me. Now I'm sad.
That Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot will do that to you.
Unlock past trauma.
So, April 26, 1989, Mike Tyson gets a speeding ticket for drag racing his Lamborghini in Albany, New York.
Okay.
1993, NBC announces Conan O'Brien to replace David Letterman on The Late Show. 2010, Iron Man 2, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow, premieres in Los Angeles.
That must have been my birthday movie that year.
Yeah. Whenever there's like a movie like really close to your birthday, that's your birthday movie.
It's my birthday movie.
2017, The Handmaid's Tale debuts on Hulu.
Still haven't watched it.
It's pretty dang good. 2018, serial killer, the Golden State serial killer, is identified after 40 years.
Yep.
He was a former police officer responsible for 12 killings and 50 rapes in California.
Yep. And here's what he would do, by the way.
Yeah. Is there a documentary about this or a podcast or something?
I've heard, yeah.
Okay.
There's YouTube videos, there's podcasts, all kinds of things on this guy, but
yeah.
Here's what he would do. Before he would attack the woman, he would attack the man. And what he would do is he would stick a stack of plates. He would have the man lay down and stick a stack of plates on him and say, if these plates get knocked over, I'm going to kill you.
Damn, all right.
So then, while they were there making sure these plates didn't crash, he would then go and like sexually assault their wife and maybe kill them. And
jeez.
Yeah.
So 12 gentlemen probably dropped the plates?
It's very possible.
12 killings, 50 rapes? Jeez.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, he was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, also in 2018, comedian Bill Cosby is found guilty of sexual assaults in Pennsylvania.
Only to get it remitted and him getting out 2 years later.
Yeah.
Fuck the justice system sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the whole thing. We're not a true crime podcast. As much as I would love it to be.
Yeah. And at times it can be. But, yeah. So those are some crazy things that happened on that day, though, right?
Yeah. And on the 26th is also my niece and patron
Emily
member Emily.
Yeah.
It's her birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Emily.
She's working on a project for me right now.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from it. It's supposed to be due by the end of the month, but whatever.
We'll see.
Okay. Let's move on to This Week in Geek.
This weekend.
Geek.
So I guess I better pull these up. So we know that the Obi-Wan series has finished filming. It's going to be coming out on Disney Plus here soon.
I'm so damn stoked for it.
Yeah, me too.
Me can't wait.
Well, apparently...
Although you've been watching Moon Knight, though, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that last episode? Episode 5?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about it after the podcast.
So... we know that Hayden Christensen is going to be back. He'd probably be Darth Vader. Not extremely happy about that, but whatever. Well, apparently...
It could be his resurgence, back into acting.
Yeah, I hope so. One can only hope. We've been missing that film presence of Hayden Christensen.
That we have.
Well, apparently he kind of... The Darth Vader outfit and actually acting against Darth Vader kind of freaked out Ewan McGregor.
Really?
Like, it actually literally scared him. This is what he said. He said, I've never met Darth Vader. I'd rehearsed the scene with Vader, but not with the helmet on or anything like that. When we came to the scene, when they shouted action, he had to come from behind me. I turned around, and fucking Darth Vader was coming at me. I was like I was 6 again. I'd never acted into Vader's helmet. I'd never looked him in the eye, McGregor told Total Film. It scared the shit out of me. I'm not joking. It gave me a proper jolt of absolute fear. I was like, oh my god, That's not acting. That's real. I'm really, truly frightened right now.
I really hope they keep that scene in there, and we get to see legit fear from this dude.
Obi-Wan can't show fear. Can't be afraid. I do hope they were filming, though.
Same.
And hopefully we'll get like a gag reel or something, or bonus footage, and see him freaking the fuck out. I mean, I've often thought about that. Like if you ever did like a horror movie or something like that,
Right.
like these are actors, but at the same time, you're in that environment. You're in that moment.
Yeah.
And you see like, Jason or Leatherface come around the corner at you. Like, there's got to be a part of you that's like, this is scary as shit.
The demon-looking creature that they had in the Annabelle series, or even Insidious, like that red, black-faced-looking creature, that dude, he'd probably get, like, in the scene, in the moment, if I'm there, like, probably be a little unsettling, I'm trying to think of any other creatures or any other things that would really kind of, like, in the moment, kind of terrify me. Because I don't think... It? Pennywise? Maybe full-on teeth out Pennywise.
I did see a scene, speaking of Pennywise.
But I think that's more CGI, though, right?
Yeah, but so... in the second one, and spoilers, where he eats that little girl under the bleachers?
Yes.
Really, like, bites her face off?
Right.
They showed behind the scenes of filming that scene, and it was an actual little girl, and she was acting against him. And so you saw him act and do the scene, and then as soon as they yelled cut, he immediately went like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you all right? You good?"
She looked pretty terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. And he gave her a high five, like that was a good scene, good job, But still, like the first couple times you see that, I'm sure it's a little unnerving.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Especially if you haven't seen them in like full makeup and they just come out on set, right? And you're like, oh wow, okay, that's kind of jarring. That's this person underneath, you know?
Yeah.
But so a flight out of San Francisco International Airport turned violent on Wednesday night when boxer legend Mike Tyson threw punches at a man who was allegedly bothering him on the plane. Tyson reportedly punched the man whose assigned seat on the flight was behind the boxing legends. The man was allegedly left with a bloody face after Tyson hit him. According to TMZ Sports, the incident occurred at 10:30 p.m. after Tyson boarded a JetBlue flight heading to Florida. TMZ also reported that the passenger Tyson hit was extremely intoxicated.
You'd have to be.
And wouldn't stop provoking the boxer in his seat. A spokesperson for Tyson added the passenger threw a water bottle at the 55-year-old. He went on to say this. Unfortunately, Mr. Tyson has an incident on a flight with an aggressive passenger who began harassing him and throwing water bottles at him while he was in his seat, the spokesperson told ESPN. Passenger was harassing Tyson, 36-year-old Melvin Townsend III, reportedly has a lengthy criminal history. Like, it feels like the spokespeople, the PR people, they're trying to, because he was offended 25 in 2019 after he received 25-year sentence for Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, so they're like painting this dude out. Like, I get that he's probably not the best person, but like Tyson also, they didn't like mention Tyson had also gone to jail for rape.
Well,
you know, in 1992.
Yeah.
And only served 4 out of the 6 years that he was sentenced to.
Yeah,
which is a pretty damn short sentence for doing that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, when you're a celebrity.
Taking a vehicle compared to taking someone's innocence. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I totally get that, but
did you get a chance to check out that video clip? I mean, it was all over social media where he's punching the hell out of this dude. And at 55, Mike Tyson, okay, in his career, knocked out 12 people in the first round.
Right.
Like, yeah, his first 19 fights he won outright, but like 12 of them were knockouts. Like, the dude's still packing a punch.
Mm-hmm. Why would you want to provoke Mike Tyson?
So what happened is he had just gotten a selfie with Mike Tyson. He was like, okay, yeah,
sure,
I'll take a picture with you, and then kept provoking him, kind of thing. Come on, champ, or something. And then Tyson had enough and just started beating the shit out of the dude. Why is Mike Tyson? I would feel like he has enough money sitting around, or you would hope that he'd have enough money sitting around that he could take like a private jet, or wouldn't have to fly JetBlue. You know, I mean, times are tough. Yeah, fuel is expensive, but damn, dude, like, at least
I don't know.
Take first class, perhaps. You know, you're not going to be bothered by other passengers.
I mean, JetBlue, I've heard it's a pretty good airline,
right?
But yeah, you're right.
It was only $50 more for my flight to Los Angeles that I just barely booked yesterday. To upgrade it to first class.
Nice.
Like, spend the $50, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
but
treat yourself, Tyson.
At the end of the day, why would you? That's the last person you want to provoke.
Yeah,
because he's not really had a history of making good decisions, as you just talked about.
Right.
So why would you want to provoke him?
Yeah. He could be like, they haven't said anything just yet, and it's been kind of like quiet. But especially since Tyson, you know that he's training because he's going to be fighting like one of the Paul brothers coming up soon, right? So you know he's still training. We've all seen those videos where he's like punching a speed bag, like still going hard at it. Yeah, not a smart move by this guy at all.
No.
Or not a smart move by Tyson, you know? We're not going to just blame the victim here.
Well, sure.
Because I was always taught, like, growing up, that your right's in at the end of your hand, you know? Like, yeah, you can yell back and forth at each other, but as soon as, like, as soon as I hit one of my siblings or something, my mom would, like, get all upset. Yeah. She'd intervene before then, but, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of bad decisions made on that flight. Yeah. All right. So the Northmen that just came out, and I'll talk about that later, used CGI genitals during naked fight scene.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want it flopping around while you're trying to fight somebody.
So, the Northmen did use some CGI during the naked fight scene, and according to Eggers, now Eggers is, I think he was the guy in the scene. No, he was the director. Let's see. According to Eggers, that was for safety reasons. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, the director shared the CGI was actually a preventative measure to avoid anyone's, quote, bits getting chopped off.
Ugh.
Who among us can disagree with that? Instead, the actors wore little thongs to cover the goods. So I've seen the scene.
Yeah.
I've seen the scene. And it takes place at the, quote, gates of hell, which is basically this active volcano.
Right.
And so there's lava, there's ash, there's smoke, so you really don't see anything. And even if there is like a full body shot, it's like all in shadow.
Right.
And I had already seen this article before I watched the movie, so I was looking.
Right, yeah.
I was looking for genitals. And I couldn't see anything. It was all in shadow, so I don't know. But I was just thinking about filming that scene. So they're in a studio. They're wherever, you know, they're on the they probably build up the hills or whatever. These two actors, almost naked, just wearing thongs, sword fighting each other.
Yeah.
It just made me laugh. Like, what kind of day, what kind of work day?
I gotta go to the office, you know. Been a long, hard day at the office.
I mean, when you think that being an actor is going to be all glitz and glamour, then think about, well, sometimes you got to fight a man in a thong.
Yeah.
So.
And hope your bits don't get
Hope your bits don't get
off.
cut off. Yep.
I have no segue for that. Sony had a busy day at CinemaCon. This was just a couple of days ago. Among many of their announcements, including a glimpse of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they got to watch like the first 15 minutes of that. I'm so jealous. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Sony also had a spin-off, El Muerto. Sony was excited to announce talk about two other franchises, Venom and Ghostbusters. Although we wouldn't exactly call it shocking news, Sony shared that Venom 3 and Ghostbusters 5 were officially on their way. So Venom 3 kind of left us with a cliffhanger and also teased that Venom could potentially, because a piece of that symbiote kind of broke off, but it remembers everything from its previous host, right? So it still has memory of the MCU and of Spider-Man and that whole cinematic universe. So they kind of like left us there at it. I guess I should have said spoiler, but whatever. They left us kind of on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and then you've got, on the other hand, you've got Ghostbusters 5. Ghostbusters 4 was a fantastic. Are they really calling it 5 though? Because you've got 1, 2. I guess
I would call it
4.
4.
As would I.
Yeah.
No, completely agree. When they come out with a new Indiana Jones movie, I'm forgetting about the Crystal Skull.
Yeah,
it didn't exist, and I'm just calling this one, Indiana Jones 4. Yeah. So Ghostbusters 4, they're going to have another one, and it'll be interesting to see how they go with it, because they've already paid homage to the original ones, so now they can kind of like focus on their own story and make it their own.
If they want to do Venom 3,
whatever.
Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
As long as they have Spider-Man in it, it'll probably be it'll be better.
I'm guessing Spider-Man, that little piece that was left in the MCU by Tom Hardy before it went back to his own dimension, I'm guessing that'll find its way to Peter Parker.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Carnage wasn't that great.
No.
And so
it wasn't. I hated it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it at all.
Woody Harrelson was a bad choice.
Oh, yeah. Which I think he's a fantastic actor, given
great.
the right setting.
Yeah.
3 Billboards, True Detective. Like, I didn't care for him as a villain in Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot he was in that. Where he's just
like walking around shaving his head the whole damn time. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you're not that menacing, dude. Like, whatever.
I totally forgot he was in that. But yeah. So if they want to continue that, fine. A new Ghostbusters, though, absolutely, because I loved Afterlife.
Oh, same.
I saw that bitch 4 times in the theaters. I
bought it the day it came out and watched it that night. Yeah.
It is such a good film.
It really is.
Yeah. And I hope they don't pull a Toy Story 4. Because to me, like, Afterlife was such a nice little bow on the legacy of Ghostbusters. Like, they had Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and then this one comes out years later.
I'd been fine with, like, them calling it quits.
Sure.
But I think because it did so well,
you gotta follow the money.
Right.
So I hope they don't do a Toy Story 4 where it just ends up being, like, fairly disappointing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that they could do that would get you more on board? I mean, you'll see it for sure either
Of course.
way.
Yeah.
But is there a way that they could kind of like hook you if they make up for Ghostbusters 2?
If they stay away from anything that has to do with Ghostbusters 2.
Really?
Yeah. Don't do Vigo again. Don't stay away from that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Don't do the pink ooze of sadness or whatever it was. The anger ooze that was
The
underneath
toaster ooze.
New York. Yeah. The pink anger ooze. Stay away from that stuff. Just focus on busting some ghosts.
Yeah.
You know? You'll be good. You'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little cameo here and there, maybe a consulting cameo from like Ernie Hudson as the black one. Winston Zeddemore. Cause he was gonna like fix up the car and everything, so maybe cameo from him like passing the car over.
Yeah.
That's fine, but just make your own story. Make your own story.
Exactly. Agreed.
I swear, if it comes out and it's Ghostbusters, Return of Vigo,
Vigo's Revenge.
Vigo's Revenge or whatever. I'm.
Yeah,
No.
I
don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be drastic. I will burn a movie theater to the ground. All right. So this was an interesting story. So Alan Cumming is offering $10,000 reward for an information on a missing former co-star. Now here's the catch. This co-star is a chimpanzee.
Really?
Yes. So the 57-year-old actor is offering a $10,000 reward for anyone who can find Tonka, the chimpanzee, today. The chimpanzee was last seen caged at the now-closed Missouri Primate Foundation in Festus, Missouri. Chimpanzees were bred there for years for renting out to films, sale to private owners, or use at parties. And PETA has put up a separate $10,000 reward for information on where Tonka is being kept. Cumming told the publication he had very fond memories of his peer from the production alongside Rene Russo, and worries he's in isolation somewhere scary or has met more severe and serious fate. This is what he said. He said, Tonka and I became good friends, playing and grooming each other, and just generally larking about. It's horrible to think he might be in a cage in a dark basement or met some other fate, so I'm appealing to whoever knows what has become of him to please come forward and claim the reward. Now, he worked with Tonka in the 1997 film Buddy.
Yeah.
So that's how he knows him. But yeah, so if you have any information on where Tonka is, you could be potentially $20,000 richer. My question is, if you do know, how are you going to get in touch with Alan Cumming?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to like post his phone number or like, please call this.
I guess you could get
his agents.
Well, even because they mentioned PETA, you could probably get in contact with them.
Right.
It's
very unfortunate, but I think what probably happened is they'd used him somewhere for some sort of research and then disposed of the body.
He did?
I think so. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of like insider information, but like Lagoon and their zoo, like, they do not do a good job. They should not have a zoo to begin with.
I doubt they have like professional zookeepers that work there.
Just little kids, high school kids doing it. Which is fine for the most part, because you just have to kind of feed and take care of them and stuff, but they're not professionals by any means, and I know that they have not properly disposed of bodies before, like where they'll just throw it in the dumpster, and you legit have to call somebody in order to be like, hey, this animal passed away, and properly dispose of it.
I learned recently, speaking of zoos, the last time I was at the Salt Lake Zoo, which was about a month ago, I was with my brother. We were walking around, and we thought, we were looking at the elephants, and we thought, if one of them dies, how do they get it out of there?
Yeah. That's a big.
We found out.
Really?
And it's not pretty. So, each zoo basically has...
Forklift? Stab?
Not quite, no.
Ugh.
Each zoo basically has a dumpster for this purpose, for thrown in animal carcasses eventually. So what happens with the elephant is they take it out in pieces.
Oh, I believe it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to eat an elephant.
They fillet that fucker and then throw it in giant trash bags and throw it in a dumpster, and then a special garbage truck comes and carries it away.
Eesh.
That's how they dispose of it.
Brings a whole new meaning to that expression, you know, like one bite at a time from an elephant kind of a deal.
Yep. Yeah. How you get an elephant out of a zoo? One bite at a time.
I'm not a huge fan of zoos, like, at all.
The GF isn't either.
Yeah.
But I actually really like them because...
these are some of the animals that you'd never get to see otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's some that would never survive in the wild. And,
well, see, and I get that if they use it as more, like, I know in San Diego, they do kind of a rehabilitation, like getting them, like ones that wouldn't survive in the wild or were taken from somebody else, you know, who had like a private zoo, and they took them away from them. They're like, dude, you can't have these animals. So I get that, but then I feel like you're also getting, you know, whenever you get like an adopted rescue pet, you get their baggage along with them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what happens a lot of the times with these animals as well. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them.
I like going and checking it out. I like the zoo. I like the aquarium. And like...
did recently go to the Draper one for the first time.
The aquarium?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool place. But...
I'd never get to see like a jellyfish that close up.
Yeah.
You know, some of these other creatures.
And that's what I was saying about the zoos. Like, in like the past like decade or so, they've really been cracking down on zoos and making them more hospitable for the animals that are there, you know, so it's not just like they're just in this cage 24 hours a day and...
right.
You know, not saying that the places where the animals are terrific, because they're not.
No.
I mean, have you seen where the primates are in that place?
Oh, yeah. It's a shit show.
It is, literally. Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, it could be worse, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It could be worse.
From elephants to cats, the CW Batwoman... from elephants to bats. There we go. That's
there you go.
Segment.
There you go.
The CW Batwoman has seen its shares of ups and downs. One of the many Arrowverse series pulled from the DC Comics was Batwoman. It has featured two actresses in the title role, Ruby Rose and Javicia Wesley, the current Batwoman. But according to TC Line, Batwoman showrunner Carolyn Dries confirmed that CW has canceled Batwoman before its fourth season. And I am very surprised that it even made it that far. Like, after we talked about it, and you were telling me how awful it is, I thought it was only going to get maybe one, maybe 2 seasons. But to get 3 seasons, I guess because they changed... took Ruby out of the picture, it lasted a little bit longer, but...
yeah.
Did you ever give it another chance?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. People are so... like, these DC shows on the CW have overstayed their welcome.
They have.
It is time for them to go.
Yeah.
Like, I loved The Flash and Arrow. I thought they were such great... weekly shows. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then there was just this decline, and it became less about the superhero and more about the relationship drama, and I'm like... ugh.
That's because they ran out of information, like stuff to do. Which is stupid, because they have a lot of villains. They have a lot of people.
Exactly what I was going to say.
They have a lot of like stuff that they could use.
Yeah.
Pull from this whole universe and crossover, like they did.
But all of a sudden it became about Barry and Iris the entire time. And it's all their drama, and are they going to die? And is Flash going to die in the crisis? And is Iris going to die from this villain? And I don't care. I don't care.
Take a page from like Daredevil. Do like 2 solid seasons, maybe a crossover or 2, and call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get in, do your best, and pull out. That's my philosophy. Get in, do what you can, pull out before it's too late.
Like, what form of birth control do you use? The prayer method.
Yeah. The pull and pray. The old pull and pray.
Oh, man.
All right. There you have it. And do I have any kids? Nope. So something must have worked.
Or something doesn't work.
Or something doesn't work. All right. Let's get to Revs and Rex. So, like I said, I did see the Northman, but there was another movie I saw, my birthday movie, which was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This new Nick Cage movie where Nick Cage plays Nick Cage. So, the setup is Nick Cage has been kind of down on his luck in his career. He's
close to home.
Yeah. He was a movie star for a long time, but now his career's kind of taking a downturn, and he's still working all the time, but he's not as big as he used to be. Then he gets offered $1 million to go to this guy's birthday, played by Pedro Pascal. So after he realizes that he's been kicked out of his apartment, he takes the job, ends up going to this party, and while he's there, he gets recruited by the FBI, or CIA, one of the two. Basically says, look, the guy you're with, the guy you're chubbing around with, he's a international drug lord, and we need you to take him down. Like, we need you to get us all the information you can from the inside. And,
right.
Yeah. And that's the premise of the film.
Nicolas Cage gets to play a heightened Nicolas Cage.
Yes, very heightened. And it's the movie's actually a lot of fun.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage, he lets himself become unhinged because during the movie he sees a version of his younger self, of his young movie star self, that he talks to, and his name is Nicky. And Nicky is like primo, top of his career Nick Cage. So he's like crazy.
Right.
And so you got that Nick Cage, you got the more reserved Nick Cage, and
on his other shoulder?
No, the actual guy. And so you kind of get to see both of those sides, which is fun. But I will say, the chemistry between him and Pedro Pascal is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. It's some of the best chemistry I have seen in a film in probably the last 20 years. They are so good together.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting duo.
It is.
But it works.
It works really well. It works perfectly. And, Pedro Pascal is this huge Nicolas Cage fan, and he plays it up. He acts the way he's acting like he's such a fan. He wants to ask him about his films, but he doesn't want to bother him, doesn't want to bug him, and then and it's really good. It's really good. The movie's crazy. I'll say that right now. Much like Nicolas Cage himself.
Yeah.
The movie is ridiculous and awesome. because Nicolas Cage isn't afraid to make fun of himself, which is good. And then during the third act, it kind of turns into kind of an action film, kind of a buddy action film, and it turns kind of interesting. So it's a lot of fun. If you want to go to the theater, just have a good time for a couple hours. Laugh and just look at crazy Nicolas Cage. I definitely recommend go see it. You have to see it on the big screen. No, you could wait, but I think it's definitely worth a look. So out of 5 golden guns, I'm going to give it 3.5.
Oh wow, okay.
It's definitely worth a watch.
It's a solid review.
Yeah.
For my review this week, I'd kind of like to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is right now T-Mobile has it where any plan that you have, you're able to get. They will pay for a year subscription to Paramount Plus. It'll go onto your bill, but then they'll cover it, so you never ever actually see it.
Or you can just be on your girlfriend's plan like me.
There you go. The bad is that it's the basic plan. So when you're watching the television shows, you've got like so many damn commercials, and it's difficult to watch some of those shows with that many commercials.
Yep.
It's not as bad or unbearable when it comes to movies because they show like 3 ads before the movie, and then that's it. You get to see the whole film without it being interrupted. But as far as TV shows, because I'm trying to watch the Mayor of Kingston, which is that new one with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, there's a lot of commercials, and I'm like half tempted because I tried Hulu for about a week with the commercials. I'm like, oh, it won't be that bad with the commercials. No, I had to upgrade because that shit was garbage. So I might have to do the same, but it would only be $5 a month. But so that's the good, the bad, and now for the ugly. I saw on there, the first thing I watched was Jackass Forever. I wasn't going to pay money for it. I was bored. It was late at night, Troy. Don't judge me.
All right.
I was just like, I've seen parts, bits and pieces. I saw a lot of bits and pieces, but I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones.
Yeah.
And I'm familiar with the premise. There's not much of a plot.
No.
But this one, it brings back Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Poopy, some of their other original OG cast. But they also, to get people to watch, they also brought like Tony Hawk and Machine Gun Kelly to do like stupid stunts. And it's basically just stunt after stunt. It was almost TikTok worthy to where I could be watching TikTok and look at the, like, down and be scrolling through TikTok or something and, like, look back up and not miss anything. But it's, like, more on par with, like, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or something else, right? You can still do that and not miss anything.
Yeah.
And there were some segments that were so stupid. Like, definitely I should have been their target audience because I was around and it was, like, huge back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I like some of the stunts that they did. There was this one, I felt bad for the dude. He's like this big, ginormous dude that he jumps and lands on these cacti, like all over, and he's got him on his stomach and all over. I'm just like, that just looks fucking painful. The only two, like, and it was weird because I get that Johnny, he's not as young as he once was, but he legit didn't do any of it. There was just mainly him and Steve-O kind of like laughing at these other new guys that they brought into the film. So they didn't do shit. The only 2 stunts that he actually ended up doing was getting hit by a bull, which he ended up on a stretcher, and then the other one was where he gets shot out of a cannon into a lake wearing wings, so they can have like a good picture for the cover art, right? So it looks like he's actually still involved with it. Yeah. He didn't do shit. He just like laughed and like joked to other people and tasered other people and hit them in the balls and like I'll say right off the get-go, the opening scene is a ginormous Godzilla dick. So you just see like a painted green ball sack, and they used so much like pig semen. They had gallons of that shit that they're putting like on top of people as they're doing like interviews, and it was nasty, gross. I really didn't care for it at all. I'm at like even now that I'm talking about it, I was thinking before the episode, I was just like, maybe I'm at like a 1 or something. No, I'm at like a 0.5. There was only 1 or 2 times that like it kind of like made me chuckle for a second, like, oh, that's kind of funny or kind of clever. No, it was trash.
Yeah, people aren't into that anymore. That's not relevant anymore.
Not at all.
Like back in the day, sure, but now the people that watched it, like our generation, we've grown up and don't really find that funny anymore. And now the younger generation
painful.
Doesn't find it funny anymore either.
Yeah, they're more about like YouTube stars that doing like crazy zany stuff. You know, not so much these guys.
It's like getting hit in the balls and stuff. I'm like.
And they were laughing at it as if, like, so you might appreciate it. If you grew up and you loved the other ones, you might somewhat appreciate it. And it's more of a where are they now kind of a film than it is another Jackass installment.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they were real, quite literally, they were dicks to a lot of these people with this. And I'm like, man, I hope they got a lot of money for doing letting them put them through these things.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
But I did not enjoy this at all. So, yeah, 0.5.
Okay. All right, 0.5 Godzilla dicks?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because it shoots at the very end, shoots like semen all over all of them stuff. And
comedy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to go from the complete opposite of that.
Yes.
The Northmen. This stars. Hang on, I want to get everybody's names right here. Don't want to leave anybody out. So this stars Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Bjork, believe it or not, Bill Skarsgård. He's in there somewhere. Okay. Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke. And a bunch of Scandinavian people. So, the premise of this movie is that there's a young prince named Amleth who witnesses his father get killed by his father's brother, so his uncle, to kind of take the throne.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes a revenge story of he's going to grow up, he's going to come back, find his uncle, kill him, and then rescue his mom, because his uncle also took the queen, his mom.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the premise of the film. But
sounds very Game of Thrones-esque.
It does. Game of Thrones, Conan the Barbarian, like this film definitely could have been made like back in 87.
Yeah.
Played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it takes itself very seriously. And it's all in natural light, which is interesting. I've noticed a lot more movies are doing that.
Yeah, ever since The Revenant.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. Which kind of adds to the...
They did that with The Knight as well, didn't they?
I think so.
The Green Knight.
I think so, yeah. So it kind of adds to the ambiance, and I get that.
This is the same director that did the Lighthouse one, right?
I think so. Willem Dafoe's in it, so I guess it kind of makes sense, if it is. Willem Dafoe acting crazy. I believe. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a weird film because there's a bit of mythology to it, like Norse mythology. So like Odin, Thor, that kind of Norse mythology. Vikings. And there are magical elements to the film, but I don't know if those were real or not. Like, he may have been hallucinating. Like, for example, he goes into this cave where he has to get this sword. called Nightblade or something like that. And the reason it's called a Nightblade is you cannot unsheath it during the day. It can only be unsheathed during night.
Yeah.
Which actually was kind of interesting. But in order to get this, he had to fight this skeleton that was holding the blade, like this former king. But then after the battle was done, you zoom over and he's still looking at the sword. So you're like, did that happen or no? Like,
yeah,
that was weird. And that stuff happened several times during the film. So it was a little confusing. But it's a decent action film. I was expecting a lot more nudity in it. Because I don't know, it just seemed like a film that would have nudity. But it really didn't. Which struck me as interesting. But it's well acted. It's well directed. It's visually very interesting to look at.
Can you say they really like lean in heavy towards the end with the mythical side of things?
They do.
Because it seemed very grounded, more like a revenge story similar to like Gladiator.
Mm-hmm. And like you were talking about, you heard like 2/3 of the movie was good. Yeah.
Okay.
First 2/3 are pretty good. The last third, it turns into like your basic, action revenge film.
Right.
And you know exactly how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
When it happens. Anyway. So out of 5 swords, I would give it like, well, no, it's Nordic, so let's do hammers. Out of 5 hammers, I would give it, I'm gonna like a 2.5.
Okay.
Watch it if you want, but if you don't see it, you're not missing anything really.
Really?
Yeah. It's fine, but it's not gonna change the landscape of film or anything. Like it's a film and it's there. If you want to see it, go watch it. Whatever.
Fair enough.
And I did not see, like I said, any CG genitals.
What the hell?
A little disappointed by that, but that's all right. If you want to see CG genitals, watch Pam and Tommy on Hulu.
Really?
Yeah. His dick talks to him.
Oh wow! Yeah.
It becomes sentient and it talks to him.
All right.
After he confesses to it that he's not going to sleep around with all his women because he's fallen in love with Pam, his dick's like, bro, you serious? You sure you want to do this? Yeah. So if you want to see true CGI genitals, watch that. If you're clamoring for a CGI penis, which I always am, so it's fine. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. So here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes and all of our extra stuff, all of our DLCs, all of our extra videos, Comic-Con interviews at patreon.com/WorldWarG, where you can join our patrons, the GF, Nate, Emily, Sean, and Jenny.
Yes.
Woo!
Nice.
So you can follow us there, or if you just want to listen to the episodes proper, you can go to worldwarg.podbean.com or just wherever you get your podcasts. On social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwarg. If you'd like to find our merchandise, you can go to myspreadshop.com/worldwarg, or just put World War G in the subject line and hit shopping. Hit the shopping tab. You'll find our stuff. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwargpod@gmail.com. So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends.